To begin our process, we must prep for our lab. Here we have 1,500 milliliters of water in a beaker. Over here, we have about half a head of cabbage, red cabbage to be specific. Begin by taking some of your red cabbage and putting it into your water. You're going to put all of the cabbage into your water. As you notice here, all of our cabbage is in our water, and notice that the color of our water is still clear. What we will do now is boil it until it becomes a deep purple. We begin to boil it at a high heat, and notice how the color of the water has already turned into a deep purple. As you look at the cabbage, it starts losing its color. This purple water made up of cabbage is going to become our indicator. An indicator are chemicals that change color in acids and bases. When we add an acid, it turns pink. If we add a base, it turns blue-green. If it is neutral, it doesn't change at all. As you can see, I've taken out all of the purple liquid, and what's left behind is our cabbage who has lost its color. Over here is our deep purple indicator liquid. Here is a reference to show the before and after of our cabbage after it has boiled.
All right, today I'm going to be talking about proper lab gear to wear when we're doing our lab. All right, you must always wear your goggles to protect your eyes. We have our mask for COVID. We have our safety coat. You'll have an apron. I have pants on and closed-toed shoes. I also have long hair, so my hair is tied back, and I have nothing around my neck that could fall forward and hit any of the chemicals. All right, today I'm going to be doing the color change lab. First, I'm going to talk about the purpose. So the purpose of this lab is to ask, does the combination of different substances with an indicator solution create a chemical reaction? All right, so the first step you're going to do is you're going to fill in your hypothesis statement. I think that a chemical reaction will or will not occur because. So if you think that me mixing these substances with an indicator solution is going to create a chemical reaction, you're going to circle will, and then you're going to fill in because. Why do you think that mixing these substances with an indicator solution will be a chemical reaction? All right, next I'm going to go over the materials. Okay, so we have our goggles, we have our graduated cylinder, our beaker, cabbage indicator. Okay, and the way this was prepped is we mixed hot water, we boiled hot water and we added in the purple cabbage. Cream of tartar is here. We have popsicle sticks. We have 4 of them for the 4 substances. We have our detergent, our baking soda, our cornstarch, I have my lab coat or lab apron, and then instead of cups, we have smaller glass beakers. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go over the proper lab procedure for our color change lab. So the first step is to put on our safety goggles. You have to do that. Every lab we do, you have to have goggles on. All right, so the first step is I'm going to measure out a half a teaspoon of each of the substances and put them into our smaller beakers. We've already labeled the beakers with what's gonna go in them. So this first beaker is cream of tartar. So I'm gonna measure out half a teaspoon. You always want to try to get it as level as possible without packing it in. Okay, so that's our half teaspoon of cream of tartar. All right, our next step is to measure out half a teaspoon of detergent. So we have our beaker labeled with a D for detergent. Next, we're going to do our baking soda. So I have our beaker with labeled B as for baking soda. Again, half a teaspoon. And then our last substance, we've labeled our beaker CS for cornstarch. And again, it's also half a teaspoon. All right, so now that we've measured out our 4 substances, and again, that was half a teaspoon of each substance, we're gonna start measuring out our indicator solution. Okay, so this is our indicator solution. This is the solution that we made from our purple cabbage, also called red cabbage. All right, and we are gonna measure out 30 milliliters with our graduated cylinder. All right, so you wanna measure out 30 milliliters and you have to get it precise. Okay, and the way you do that is you go down and you view at the bottom of the meniscus. Remember, the meniscus is the curved line here. All right, so now that we've measured out our 30 milliliters of indicator solution, our next step is we're gonna pour the indicator solution into the beakers one at a time, and we're going to stir and see if a reaction occurs. All right, so we're gonna start with our cream of tartar. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a popsicle stick in. We're gonna use that for stirring. So right now it's a white powder. Okay, so stirring, stirring. All right, so as you can see, our white powder with the indicator solution turned into a bright neon pink. Great. Next, we're going to do our detergent. So right now it's a white powder with little purple and blue granules inside. I'm going to do the same thing, put my popsicle stick inside, our 30 mils of indicator solution. All right, so as we're stirring, okay, so our detergent and indicator solution has turned this nice green color. All right, our next substance is the baking soda. So right now it's a very fine white powder. I'm gonna add in my popsicle stick, 30 mils of indicator. Okay, I'm gonna stir. Okay, so now you'll notice that it's turned a deep blue green color. All right, our last substance is our cornstarch. So it's a white powder. Okay, we have our 30 milliliters of indicator solution. Okay, we're gonna pour it in. All right, you'll notice that it has turned a pale purple, light purple color. All right, so these are our finished substances mixed in with our indicator solution. So our cream of tartar, this nice bright pink, the detergent, the green, the baking soda, the blue, and the cornstarch, the purple. Okay, make sure you are making your observations as we do this lab.